Most men believe that if they like a woman, they should express it fully. Call her, text her, shower her with attention. But what happens when you do that? She gets comfortable, takes you for granted, and your value in her eyes starts to decline. Here's the twist. When you pull back, when you genuinely stop caring about whether she stays or goes, that's when the dynamic flips. That's when her emotions get triggered in ways she never expected. Now, let me be clear. This isn't about playing childish games. It's about understanding a fundamental truth. People, especially women, are drawn to what they fear losing. So when she senses that you've detached, that she's no longer your priority, her mind goes into overdrive. She starts wondering why, what changed, and if she made a mistake. Suddenly, the power shifts. In today's video, we'll break down the exact reactions a woman has when she realizes you've lost interest. Some might surprise you, and others will make perfect sense once you understand how attraction really works. Point 1. She becomes mysterious. When a woman realizes you've lost interest, the first shift you'll notice is that she suddenly becomes hard to read. She stops sharing details about her life like she used to. Her words become vague, and her actions less predictable. She becomes more mysterious. This isn't by accident. It's a psychological move, whether intentional or not, to make you wonder about her again. She wants to regain control, and the easiest way is by being unpredictable and distant, creating a sense of curiosity that pulls you back in. If you used to text her every evening and she replied quickly, now she takes hours, maybe even a full day, before responding with something short. If you notice her posting less on social media or sharing cryptic messages like moving differently, it's meant to make you second-guess your decision to pull away. The key here, don't react. The moment you start chasing or questioning her, she wins. Stay indifferent. Continue living your life. And when she sees that her mystery isn't pulling you back in, she'll be forced to take a different approach. Point 2, she becomes more feminine. When a woman realizes you're no longer as invested, something shifts in her behavior. The toughness or indifference she once had starts to soften. Suddenly, she becomes more delicate, agreeable, and far more feminine. This is a psychological response to your withdrawal. When she senses she's losing your attention, her first instinct, if she still wants you, is to lean deeper into her femininity. She wants to remind you of her softness, warmth, and charm. The traits that initially attracted you, you might notice she starts laughing at your jokes more, complimenting you more, and being more present in conversations. Even her physical appearance changes. More effort in her hair, makeup, or outfits when she's around you. If you've stopped initiating conversations, she might send you an emotionally triggering message like, "I was thinking about you today," or "I miss the way we used to talk." It's not just a statement, it's a strategy to spark an emotional response from you and make you feel something again. Point 3. She softens her body language. When you pull away, one of the first things you might notice is a shift in her body language. She starts to become more feminine. She might tilt her head when listening, maintain deep eye contact, and find subtle ways to get physically closer. This is her way of pulling you back in without overtly chasing you. But here's the thing. This change only happens because you've pulled away. It's a reactive shift, not a genuine one. If she's only acting this way when she feels she's losing you, it's temporary. The best approach here? Observe, but don't rush into a response. Point 4. She starts chasing harder. Now, this one might catch you off guard. If a woman senses you're losing interest, her instinct will be to chase. You might have noticed her being distant or indifferent before, but once your energy shifts, she'll feel an urgency to pull you back in. This reaction comes from the basic human need to want what they feel they're losing. When she had your full attention, she had nothing to fight for. Now that things are uncertain, she feels the need to reclaim her sense of security. She'll start reaching out more. If she used to take her time replying, she'll suddenly respond faster. If she was reserved about her emotions, she might open up, making sure you know she values you. She might also try to see you more often, even making small efforts like liking your posts or sending check-in texts. Point 5. She becomes overly curious. As you pull away, her curiosity skyrockets. She starts paying more attention to your social media, analyzing every little change, wondering where you are, what you're doing, and who you're spending time with. This isn't random. It's a response to the uncertainty. She starts questioning what's going on. If she sees you engaging with someone new, she'll start wondering who they are. She might ask mutual friends about you or even casually probe you for details about your day. If you give her vague or distant answers, that only fuels her curiosity. You've become a puzzle she can't stop trying to solve. She's not just trying to figure out where you are. She's trying to understand why you've changed. Point 6. She becomes overly critical. When a woman senses you're slipping away, she might start becoming overly critical. Instead of trying to win you back with kindness, she may begin nitpicking everything you do. This reaction comes from frustration and insecurity. She doesn't like the shift in the dynamic and, instead of expressing that, she masks it with criticism. You might hear things like, "You've been acting strange lately," or "Why don't you text first anymore?" Don't take it personally. Her frustration isn't with you specifically. It's with the uncertainty she feels. The best way to handle this is to remain calm and unbothered. Don't get defensive. The more you stay indifferent, the more she'll realize that criticism won't bring you back. Point 7. She tries to make you jealous. One of the classic moves when a woman senses you're pulling away is trying to trigger jealousy. She may become more social, post more pictures, or mention new male friends in conversation, all in an attempt to get a reaction from you. If you react emotionally or show jealousy, you lose. You've fallen right into her trap. The key here is to stay firm, remain unbothered, and keep living your life. The more you seem unaffected, the more she'll wonder if she still has the power to pull you in. When she tries to make you jealous, it's a mistake. Here's where men need to wake up. If a woman is trying to provoke jealousy, it means she's seeking validation. And when she resorts to manipulation, she's testing to see if you still care. The strongest move you can make is to do nothing. Stay unbothered. Keep your energy focused on yourself. Women don't respond to weakness. They respond to strength. When she sees her attempts aren't working, she'll be forced to rethink her strategy. At that point, she'll either drop the games and start acting right, or disappear completely. Honestly, that's a blessing if she was only interested in playing mind games in the first place. Men need to stop feeding into this cycle. The moment you react, you reinforce the behavior. You teach her that manipulation is how to get your attention rather than building a genuine connection. Set a higher standard. A high-value man doesn't chase a woman trying to make him jealous. He moves on, knowing that if she truly values him, she'll stop the games and start acting accordingly. At the end of the day, jealousy tactics only work on men who are emotionally undisciplined. A man who understands his worth doesn't play the game. He watches from a distance, letting her realize that she's lost something valuable. The real impact on her confidence. When a woman realizes you're losing interest, it doesn't just make her question the relationship, it makes her question herself. Suddenly, the confidence she once had starts to crack, and she begins wondering, what changed? Was it something I did? Am I not attractive enough? Did I misread the whole situation? This shift isn't about you. It's about the loss of validation. When she's used to being the center of your attention, that attention reassures her. She doesn't have to question her desirability because she sees it reflected in the way you treat her. But the second you start pulling away, that security disappears, and with it, her confidence. Now she's overanalyzing everything, the way she looks, her personality, how she carries herself. She may even start comparing herself to other women, wondering if you've found someone better. She might replay past conversations, trying to pinpoint where things went wrong. And here's the thing. This isn't about logic. It's not about whether she's done anything wrong. It's about emotion. When a woman feels like she's losing your interest, it shakes her self-perception. She no longer feels in control, and that loss of control forces her to reevaluate her own worth. Some women, when faced with this situation, will double down, trying even harder to impress, putting in extra effort to win you back. Others will withdraw completely out of fear of rejection. Either way, the shift in your behavior forces a shift in hers. Recognizing your power. This is where most men don't realize their power. They assume that if she starts acting distant, moody, or defensive, it means she doesn't care. But in reality, it's often the opposite. She cares so much that she doesn't know how to handle it. A high-value man understands this. He doesn't react emotionally or seek validation from her behavior. Instead, he recognizes the impact of his presence or his lack of it. Rather than chasing a woman who's questioning herself, he lets her figure it out on her own. Because at the end of the day, the moment she starts doubting herself is when she realizes she valued your presence more than she thought. And when that realization hits, she either comes back stronger or disappears completely. What happens next? When a woman realizes you've lost interest, she'll do one of two things. She'll either fight for your attention harder than ever, or she'll walk away for good. And the direction she chooses says everything about her mindset, her emotional maturity, and how much she truly valued you. Some women, when faced with the possibility of losing you, will come back stronger. They'll become more affectionate, more attentive, and more intentional about keeping you engaged. They'll put in extra effort, whether through their appearance, attitude, or willingness to meet you halfway. But the most important thing to remember is this: you don't have to chase. When you recognize your worth, you let her decide. You stay true to yourself, and whatever happens, you win. When a woman realizes your presence isn't guaranteed, she often feels the need to prove her worth. But there's a catch. If she only starts putting in effort once she feels like she's losing you, it means she wasn't giving you her best in the first place. She only stepped up because she felt threatened. This raises the question: was her interest genuine, or was it simply a reaction to the loss of control? A woman who only values you when she feels like she's losing you can be dangerous. The moment she feels secure again, she might slip back into the same habits that made you pull away in the first place. On the other hand, some women will disappear completely instead of chasing. Instead of trying to regain your attention, they'll accept your disinterest as a sign to move on. Men often misunderstand this. Some assume that if she walks away, she never cared. But that's not always the case. Some women have too much pride to chase a man who's slipping away. Others take it as a personal challenge to find their own sense of value elsewhere. And some simply weren't as emotionally invested as you thought. Either way, when she chooses to disappear, she's making a statement. She refuses to compete for your attention. While it might sting your ego, this is actually a good thing. If she's willing to walk away that easily, it means she wasn't as committed as you believed. A high-value man never fears either outcome. If she comes back stronger, he watches to see if her actions match her words. If she disappears, he respects it and keeps moving forward. The key is to never chase, never beg, and never compromise your self-worth for a temporary reaction. In the end, the way she reacts when you pull away tells you everything you need to know about her. And once you see the truth, you'll know exactly how to move. The truth about her reaction. At the end of the day, how a woman reacts when she realizes you've lost interest is not about you. It's about her. It's a mirror that reflects her emotional control, her self-worth, and her true intentions. The biggest mistake most men make is assuming that her reaction determines their value. It doesn't. A woman's reaction is her battle, not yours. Here's the harsh truth. A woman who only values you when she's about to lose you never truly valued you in the first place. Let that sink in. If she needed to feel your absence to realize your worth, she was never giving you her best. She was coasting on your attention, assuming you would always be there. But when you pulled away, the game changed. She had to decide whether to step up or step out. That's why a high-value man never reacts emotionally. He doesn't scramble to explain himself, chase after her, or try to fix her response. Instead, he observes. He sees her reaction for what it is. A test of her character, not a reflection of his. Engagement and closing thoughts. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed a woman change her behavior when she felt you slipping away? Maybe she became more affectionate or more interested, or did she completely disappear? Drop your experiences in the comments below. I'll be checking them out and responding. Let's have a real conversation about this. Remember, your value isn't determined by how she reacts. It's determined by how you carry yourself, with or without her. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and never let a reaction define you. If you want to dive deeper into these concepts, join my Podia community. The link is in the description. It's packed with powerful insights to help you master your masculinity in today's dating world. Stay strong, stay focused, and protect your power. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.